It is time to get raw. It is time to get down. It is time for the Raw Down, the number one source for all things WWE, right here at the Turnbuckle Tavern. I am your host, Young Anthony of the Titantron podcast. Joined with me are my co-hosts, the MVP, Marco of the Chick Foley Show and Open Mic, and J-Bone, our Raw Down champion from coming down the aisle. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
How's the teabagging?
You can't just have one cup of tea and announce it in a group chat without somebody making a look.
Hey, that was Marco's joke. Sorry, Marco, but
yeah, the tea bagging. That's only tea bags.
Who drinks
tea?
That
we'll talk about.
Who drinks tea?
Look, it's just a tea kind of night. A nice lemon tea, You
need to drink a beer, son. Grab you a Coors Light or Bud Light or something.
I had a regular Coors, and it was the most disgusting thing I've ever had.
Well, that's because you drank Coors.
Yeah, what are you doing? Bud Light's the way to go, right? Nowadays.
Yeah.
Is that what we're drinking?
Well, I'm allergic to Bud Light. I can't have Bud Light.
Oh, yeah. Now you're allergic to Bud Light. Okay.
So is Kid Rock.
We see.
My name is.
We see where you're. We see where you lie in the fight.
Yeah. We see where your allegiance is at.
I'm more of a wine kind of guy, personally.
Oh, Wine Lip Magoo over here.
Wine Lip Magoo. We're live.
We're live.
Yeah. You and that.
Here he goes. He's looking for the.
We're live.
We're live.
That's your buddy.
My bud.
Couple of winos. You two.
All right, enough of this
chicanery.
Yeah, enough of this shenanigans. It's time to let's give them something to talk about right here on the Raw Down. And we're gonna kick things off by getting outside of the ropes.
Outside the ropes.
Outside of the ropes right here on the Raw Down. As well, we didn't think that we would be covering this little interesting topic for a while. We hadn't covered it for a long time, ever since Vince left, but now it seems that there's going to be more cuts.
We could be good cutting and strutting, baby.
Oh boy. Cutting and strutting going on over at the WWE /Endeavor. Looks like we're going to get a slew of more cuts. But it seems like we were talking a little bit before the show started. It seems like this is more just behind the scenes type cuts. It won't be wrestlers being wished for their future endeavors.
It's a lot of cheddar with the amount of money they're talking about.
How much did they say? Did they give a number?
I mean, they're looking at, they said don't be surprised you don't see $50 million, of cuts. I mean, that could be a number of things, to be honest. Could be the way they do production, or like I said, just behind the scene employees. I mean, I don't know. I mean, and really, I mean that's still a lot of money. Like, we're not talking about like a sports franchise, where they could just drop. Like the Diamondbacks, they just dropped Madison Bumgarner, said, "See you later. Go take your $34 million elsewhere." It's not like that. It's a lot of cheddar. It's not like wrestlers make that kind of money. I mean, they do well, obviously, but they're not making $30 million or anything. So, you take into consideration, people's salaries, average salary, probably, between the 60 and 100K, I would say, maybe. That's a lot of folks, so I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Marco,
I mean, this is definitely something. Sorry, this is definitely something we were expecting. Go ahead, Marco.
Yeah, I was going to say that with the merger happening and acquisition, whatever you want to call it, between Endeavor, UFC, and WWE. They did say that before they even did that merger, that there's going to be some cuts in the company. And like J-Bone said, it was definitely more the employee side of things. Because you got to think now you're taking two companies. You're taking WWE as a company and Endeavor as a company, as well as UFC, who they also have. So you got to think of the UFC employees, the Endeavor employees, as well as the WWE employees that are there. That could add up to 50. I mean, we're thinking 100K. I'm thinking more than that. A lot of these executives and a lot of these higher ups in these companies are making. I'm thinking they're making upwards to almost $1 million each. See, I mean, say they cut 5 people that are making $1 million a year, or 10 million a year or whatever. I don't know. It's like I said, I highly doubt if we see any wrestler cuts, they'll be the last. They won't be the first. I think it'll be a lot more like J-Bone said, production behind the scenes, maybe writers, maybe because and I think the cuts are really coming from not from the WWE but from Endeavor.
100%.
They spent a lot of money to get the WWE, so they got to cut costs somewhere. It's not the WWE that purchased Endeavor. It's not that way around. So they obviously WWE is a bigger name. So they got to go, oh, WWE's cutting people, which is technically right because they are one company now. So they can't say that. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be, I don't think you'll see any wrestlers get cut. I mean, judging from what, I mean, we could take words from a grain of salt, but like judging from what like Nick Khan said in that interview that, it's basically going to be a lot more employees, working employees as opposed to wrestlers. I guess they're kind of protected in a sense since it's treated as a separate, salary cap or whatever, however you want to call it. So, but yeah, they'll probably, get rid of people, merge Endeavor and WWE and UFC's, executives and all that stuff. They'll make it's every company does that. Corporate companies do it all the time. They'll, get rid of positions, merge positions, hire new people. And then when they do the cuts, they usually rehire everyone again in a different position. So it was coming. If it was around the right after WrestleMania time, yes, because that's when that's the what was it, Black Friday? I just seen the anniversary for it. Someone posted the anniversary of Black Friday, like the big one that like a bunch of people got cut.
Yeah, that was on April 15th. Actually.
Yeah, there was one that was like, what was it like? Wasn't it like upwards of like 80?
Something like that. Yeah, it was a lot,
including wrestlers. Like it was literally everybody, referees, freaking.
that was the one. That was the one where Vince McMahon they have like an employee app, and that was the one like Vince McMahon made a video for it. He's like, yes, unfortunately we've got to make cuts, and COVID-19 it's harming the world, and I got to go grow a really funky mustache.
Yeah, and I got to pay off all these ladies.
Goddamn, I've been having sexual relations with women under the table.
But yeah, I don't think it's. I mean, like I said, I think wrestlers will. If that's the case, it's going to be, I don't think it's gonna touch them right away. I think it's going to be the higher ups that are making too much money, the fat cats as they call them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't see any wrestlers getting involved in these cuts. Of course, whenever someone hears about cuts now, immediately it's
dun, dun, dun.
Who is it gonna be?
Braun.
Who is it gonna be this time?
Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, right. If we see any cuts of wrestlers, I think it would only end up being maybe people from like developmental.
Yeah,
they were doing that for a bit. That it was like, I remember they posted something. I forget which news outlet it was, but apparently it was probably Fightful that it was like a 90-day window that you had like X amount of day. I think it was either 90 or maybe a little bit longer, but X amount of months to improve. And if you didn't show signs of improvement, you were just immediately cut. And that's why a lot of people who were like getting put, that's why what's his name got cut? Parker Boudreaux.
Now he's flourishing, right?
Yeah, that's why he got cut.
He's a great guy.
What was that?
Yeah, he's such a talent.
Yeah. Hey, I've actually got
the next.
got the video. Yeah, I got the video of from when Vince announced his cuts. This is actually what he said verbatim.
You're bleeding.
You're bleeding.
You're bleeding.
Oh man.
I think another interesting thing to note in this all, I just had a point. It was something from the Nick Khan interview that stood out to me. God damn it. He said something that was interesting, and now I can't remember what it was. Fuck, I gotta look it up.
He's the president. He can do what he wants to.
Yeah.
He's the new Jack Tunney.
Anything about Triple H? I'm trying to jog your memory. Triple H.
Okay, now that we're on the topic of the Nick Khan interview, yes, that's also something we can talk about. Have you guys, because wasn't on last week, did you guys talk about the Vince McMahon apparently sending out an email to all the talent, telling all of them that Triple H is solely in control?
We did not talk about
No,
that.
we didn't talk about that, but I do want to bring up, I mean, we did bring this up that, Raw and SmackDown were fucking the same show that they've always been under Triple H. I mean, they didn't change at all.
It was a yawn fest.
It was like, it was all wrestling. There was no craziness happening on either show. Same thing with this past Monday. This past Monday was great. We'll probably get into it, but that's not a Vince McMahon Raw. I don't know what Raw you guys are watching, but watching that Raw was
definitely not Vince. I'll definitely say that it was definitely not a Vince McMahon Raw.
Yeah, no, definitely not. No,
that's all that matters.
Do you think that Endeavor saw the? Sorry to cut you off. Do you think Endeavor saw the reaction to the Raw after Mania?
Good question.
And said,
"Yeah,
yep." Nope.
Well, and here's what I think. I think since it was the Raw after Mania, I think Vince McMahon wanted to produce that Raw because it's supposed to be like the biggest Raw of the year, whatever you call it. And I think that was like just him like going, this is the Raw after Mania. I gotta get my creative juices flowing or whatever, and produce this one episode. I don't think it was gonna lead into it because SmackDown the following Friday was a fucking regular show. Imperium, everyone was like, there was no craziness happening. No one got cut. All the matches went as planned. Like, I didn't see any. I mean, obviously you see the difference from Raw and SmackDown, but I mean that was not a Vince McMahon produced SmackDown either. Yeah, I mean, so I think it was just that one show, and I think everyone just blew it out of proportion. That's what I think.
Personally. You know what just hit me. So I'm looking at it right now. Marcos has got a lovely Office out right now. So if you ever watched The Office, Ari Emanuel is David Wallace. Vince McMahon is Michael Scott.
Yeah.
And Jim is Triple H. And this is specifically when Jim and Jim and Michael were both co-managers. And Michael had to focus on big picture things. And Jim had to handle day-to-day tasks.
It pretty much is.
That's exactly what we got right now. And of course, Pam and Stephanie. So,
okay.
Yeah, anyways,
I like that. I like that comparison. That's actually pretty good. But yeah,
Kevin Patrick is Kevin.
I think it was another one of those cases where that Saudi thing. It was like, remember the Saudi buying WWE and everyone blew it out of proportion. I think the same thing happened on Monday Night Raw. Personally, now looking back at it, I think it was just a weirdly produced show. Everyone flew off the handle. Uncle Dave came out and said some shit. People ran with it. Yeah, I mean, just staying off of the IWC and Twitter altogether is probably the best thing you can do because you can have your own objective thoughts when you look at things, as opposed to reading all this shit. Oh, Vince is in control. Look what happened with this person. That's a Vince McMahon thing. It's like,
well, to be fair though, I mean, to be fair, Vince did come out that day and say, "Yeah, well, I'm not gonna be in the weeds." And then you look at that show, and it was like, God damn, this is a Vince show.
I love the weeds.
And again, like I said, like my thoughts are, I think that Raw after Mania was supposedly like, that's the Raw after Mania, so I gotta produce it because it's supposed to be like the biggest show of the year or whatever for Raw anyway.
Yeah, but if you're Vince McMahon, and this is where I don't agree, you're only gonna produce one show, and then you're gonna be like, all right, I'll give it up to Paul.
I mean, like I said, judging from the following SmackDown, the Raw the next week, and then this past Raw, there's no way Vince McMahon is producing these shows.
No, I don't.
mean, unless he
so,
just got a
it's
professionally
hard to
wrestling
say.
bug, and he's like all in on professional wrestling now, and he loves watching people wrestle for 3 hours. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I just
you know
I
what
don't
it
think
was.
he's in control.
You know what it was like. They went over to, wrestlers were like the segment with Seth Rollins, right? And where they showed like how he's been handed scripts and all that stuff. You know what it was? In the back, he saw, he was given his direction by Vince, but he was such entranced to the mustache and the eyebrows, he completely blanked out and completely forgot everything he was supposed to do. That's what it was. That's what it was.
That's what happened to Riddle too. When
It was
Yeah, when,
distracting.
when
Riddle,
Seth
he
was flipping out on the production guy, it wasn't because they were changing up his segment. It was because he was flipping out because he can't look as good as Vince.
That's true. Yeah,
it's like I don't have to trip anymore. What am I supposed to do?
He's gonna come out with a mustache next week and freaking his haircut. Can't wait.
I know how to save this company. Call me Vince freaking McMahon.
What's good in the hood?
What's good in the hood?
I've been watching a lot of
video now that we're on the topic of Vince. I was just watching a video from like that same era, like
I was about to say that. Yes,
mid 2000s.
Yes.
Oh, I think
it's actually on the tavern. Yeah,
Instagram posted it.
I've been watching a lot of that Vince era. It's wild, man.
It's insane.
Dude, it's funny.
And really,
he's
like
funny, dude.
when I was like watching it, I was just like, okay, but like now, like I'm watching, I'm just like,
looking back on it,
what is, dude? He was dropping acid or something like.
Dude,
what is going on?
But him and Shane, when they were facing Shawn Michaels and God, and they go into the church, and he's like, he's like, and he's like God's house or something like that, and then he like starts washing his hands in the holy water, and Shane's like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, you don't wash your hands in that. He's like, oh.
Or how about just the fact that there was a match with him and Shane versus Shawn and God?
The beam of light. Yeah.
And he had a dance battle with God.
And there was also the which I posted for Easter, the Hallelujah, 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 Amen.
What was it called? McMahonisms or something like that. He had his own religion that he was pushing.
He's like,
Vince.
Like Vince. Benny, what's that preacher's name? Benny Hime, whatever. Good Lord. Anyways. Oh man. But
before we get into the next major topic, since I mentioned we were talking about Seth Rollins just now, is there any anything that gets you to think the Seth Rollins, anything standing out about that whole situation that people thought that he was gonna walk out or something, and then he shows up on Raw? Anything there, or is it just stupid speculation?
Stupid speculation.
Yeah, if he lost this week, I would have said yes, but came out and beat The Miz, so
in a very good match.
Yeah, in a very good match. The Miz was actually pretty good at that. He was like old school Miz. He was actually like serious. Which
Seth and Miz always have good matches. Go back and watch Backlash 2018.
Was it a triple threat or no?
No, that was at Mania. They had a
Mania.
one-on-one at Backlash for the IC title, which was a really good match.
Yeah, that one, and the triple threat with Finn Balor was actually really good too.
Yeah.
They gel well together. Yeah,
they do. Something else that gels well with the WWE is the word draft. Ugh. Because there's a draft in this room. I could feel it.
It's even spreading to other wrestling organizations, huh?
Well, let's talk about it. So
I got a lot to say about this.
Oh man, I can't wait. This is That's all I've been waiting for is J-Bone's
So-
take on
So first of all, I mean, obviously, like if you heard watched or heard / watched last week's episode, I said the draft is terrible
Yeah.
idea. But what they're doing right now with AEW, and I know this is a WWE program, what they're doing and if this is true, having CM Punk on a separate program and then splitting your rosters,
yeah.
this could be the most detrimental thing to happen to AEW.
Could be a downfall.
It could be. It really could be. Let's just stop and think about this for a second. And look, Enzo, my dog, he's really pissed about this too. If you can hear him in the background, but let's just talk about this for a second. Like, you got a guy like CM Punk.
like CM Punk.
Booker loves to rag on CM Punk. So,
Oh, dude, all the veterans love to rag on CM
Yeah.
Punk. They all
so,
hate him.
so he cannot be pulling in that much money for your company and I know there's like a lot of back stage, stuff going in shenanigans with Warner Media and stuff. They're wanting the show, but it almost feels like that you're creating a whole nother show just so you could keep CM Punk. That's what it feels like.
Because
Yeah.
Because Mark, I mean Tony, Tony Khan apparently loves CM Punk so much that he's willing to divide his whole locker room to bring it back.
This is a horrible. This is like one of the worst ideas I've ever seen in wrestling. To be quite frank.
Who's gonna be on that roster?
I was reading like a mock-up. It probably wasn't real. It was like FTR, CM Punk,
Brody
Hobbs,
King.
Brody King. Yeah, I don't know. It
Cole
was like,
Cabana.
Oh, good man.
yeah, I don't.
He's got a few with somebody, right?
Well, yeah. The funny thing is, I thought we'll kind of correlate this with like WWE because that's why I kind of want to bring it up. Is the roster got so big at the time when WWE first did it that they had no choice but to do like a brand split. Like if you want to get everyone on TV, you use it.
Oh.
You use back, like I said, back then when they first did it, very very first like brand split things, it made sense. Because there was so many, they had different writers for both shows. Like, remember Paul Heyman and Stephanie were it really behind the scenes doing SmackDown, and then you had Vince and whoever, probably John Laurinaitis doing taking care of Raw. So like, it was a legit like two separate things. So like, and they had a bunch of people that they wanted to highlight everybody that wasn't getting there, just do on Raw and stuff like that, which makes sense. I think the same thing's happening with AEW, where the roster is getting so bloated that I think they are eventually going to do this at some point. For like, for those reasons, like the WWE did, like to get everybody on TV and, but this time, so they're doing it, but they're doing it for a wrong reason, which
Right.
is
It's a
to
horrible
please
idea.
one person. So, like I said, I'm fine with them doing a brand split if they
Well,
have
to be fair, they're really trying to please 4 people, right? Because potentially,
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
You never know what's happening behind the scenes. Punk could be like, "Look, let's work things out." The Elite could be like, "Nah, man, you bit my arm, dog."
Your dog bit my arm too. But
So
so like I said, I think it was gonna happen at some point. Like maybe like ROH would be that secondary like thing for their
that's. I mean,
talent.
at
And
least that makes sense. But,
but-
this is just horrible.
like
idea.
to brand split because people can't get along is that's
That's the
That's stupid.
stupidest thing.
like I'm not. Again, I don't know if like WWE when they did it, maybe they had those same issues. Who knows? Maybe like a lot of those guys didn't get along and stuff like that, and that could have been happening behind the scenes. Obviously, social media wasn't crazy or wasn't even around really back then to even talk about it. You did have the dirt sheets, but they weren't gonna get that information. But if that was the case, I could see that happening. But like in order to bring we want to bring CM Punk back, so we're just gonna give him his own show. Like, not only does that like sound crazy, but that also kind of says, well, shit, do you even care about the rest of us? Like, you're gonna you're just gonna center your whole a brand new show around this guy.
And it's
pretty much
literally,
shit on
it's
everybody?
literally like, it's like you're boosting his ego. It's literally like giving heroin to a heroin dealer, Like, I'm serious, and I'm like, I'm being serious about that
Yeah.
though, because like, now you fed like now he's gonna feed it to like wow, like they created a whole show for me.
Yeah.
Imagine his freaking ego now, whether or not it's true or not, like that's what the perception is, and so
Crazy.
A lot of times perception is or isn't reality, right? But who cares at that point, right? You have
check out AEW Dynamite on Wednesday and the CM Punk show on Saturday.
What was it called?
There's no drugs on here.
Was it supposed to be what's it called, like Chaos or something like that? Collision or some shit like that. Yeah,
Collision with a K.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Like I could see like
it's gonna be called Being the Elite on TV.
Oh my god, dude! They I don't know, man. It's the same thing too with like Thunder Rosa. Like they'll probably put her on that show because everyone still hates her apparently. That her and Britt Baker aren't going to get along. So like,
that's also stupid. Like, that's a whole nother thing. Like, and I know this is not the AEW show, but that whole thing on Access. I think a lot of it's like BS. I mean, there's probably some reality in it, but the little bit of reality, like, dude, like, come on, like, chill out. Like, good lord.
Yeah. I go back to like what Seth Rollins said, dude. He can he can completely like not like anybody, but he can still work with them because at the end of the day, he's not going to hang. You're not going to be friends, so you should be able to be on TV, do what you need to do on TV, and then once you're behind the curtain, that's it. You go in your separate ways. Like
everybody has somebody at work that is like, oh man, this fucking guy is here.
Yeah, exactly. But you work,
but
that's right.
You just do it, I mean, you get the job done, like you're gonna let money get in the way of this, and then on top of that, Tony Khan, you're gonna throw more money to solve a problem. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like
I said, prime example, fucking Riddle and Seth Rollins, literally like hate each other. But Seth Rollins said in that interview, dude, like we're not gonna be friends. I'm not hanging out with you, but I'm willing to put differences aside so we can go out there and perform and make money.
Dude,
that's like
that's
at the end of
that's wrestling. That's wrestling.
Yeah,
and you know what? I really do think this is gonna happen. Because if you think about like All In and All Out, I really think like Collision is going to be the All In show, and then Dynamite's going to be the All Out. Like, because you're going to have back-to-back weekends of pay-per-view. Like, that's what I really feel like that's about to go down.
WWE back in the mid-2000s, dude. That's what it's turning into. The brand supremacy.
I don't know. I feel like if they were going to go down this route of splitting up the rosters, like, with Punk on one show and the Elite on the other show, I feel like that would work better if the roster was still in that state where it was a few months ago, where it just seemed like the entire roster was just everyone hated each other. Sammy hated Eddie, and this person hated this person. The whole women's roster is just... It just raises so many questions about like, what do they do with the titles? What do they do with the women's division? Because that's already, it's getting better, but it's already weak to begin with. Like, do you put Jade on one show and you put the Outcast and Britt and Jamie on the other show? Like, you're not in a spot where, as big as the roster is, you are...
Good point.
At least in my opinion, you're not in a spot to do I would rather them just... I mean, the way that they've been going about TV recently has been completely fine. Like, not everyone is showcased, sure, but you're showcasing your top talent, which is getting your top talent in the eyes of the fans more, which in turn helps your storylines progress over a consistent amount of weeks. Consistency in showing your prominent figures. And you also have ROH, which has been showcasing a lot of talent who have not been used, either not used properly or not used, period, like Samoa Joe, Eddie, Claudio, all these different guys. So I'm, as much as I've critiqued AEW with, the roster's bloated, they've definitely done a lot of things to help that and kind of focus their roster. It's not the issue that the roster is like so big. It's just that the roster was never focused. Like one guy was shown this week, another guy was shown another week. Yes, there are still, things wrong with it. Like House of Black still isn't a prominent figure on the show, a prominent force rather. But I don't think a brand split is going to solve that issue. I think it's just going to cause so many more issues, all at the expense of just pleasing 1, 3, or 4 guys. There's just no use to it. This would only work if your whole roster just fucking hated each other to the point where it was like, you know what, we just have to split this right down in the middle. Because then you set an expectation that you're going to start using every single person on the roster. When I wasn't around for like the original brand splits, so obviously I'm not going to have that much to say on that. But like I look at like 2016 when the brand split came back. Yeah. And immediately you started to see, yes, the roster was thin, but everyone was used, be it in tag teams or, the cruiserweight of it. Everyone had a spot on the roster. Mm-hmm. And I still think that's the case currently with this current brand split. Everyone has a place.
Wait, you talking about WWE?
Yes.
I disagree on that.
What? That everyone has a place on the roster?
Right. Yes.
Who doesn't have a place?
Well, no, I mean, like if you do the brand split.
What do you mean?
So I think what you're going to do is you're going to thin it out so bad that certain talents aren't going to be featured, like the women's division, for instance. I think you're going to have less and less women's segments across the board because it's going to be thinned out so much, the roster.
No, that's a good point, but I feel like that's more for AEW than it is for WWE.
I think it's both, to be honest with you.
I think it's both, but I think WWE has at least, something that also helps them is the fact that they have a 3-hour show, so they are able to show a lot more talent in 3 hours than you are in 2. But it's also just the fact that I think WWE's roster is more fit for a brand split. Because it's just the way that they built up all of their talent. Like a lot of them have been built up through NXT and came into the WWE, maybe with some tweaks of their character. A lot of them have just naturally gotten over. Like a majority of the people on that roster in WWE are notable figures to, all of wrestling. When you look at AEW's roster, it's like, yes, they've built up, their Jerichos and their Elites and Moxleys, but then you have a whole list of people who have not been built up properly to the point where it's like, can you really do a brand split with these guys that never really had a light shined on them in the first place? So I don't know. I just think like, yes, to your point, like it's definitely thin on both sides, but I think WWE handles it better than I feel like AEW would. Unless they're using this to like start highlighting a lot of these talent that they've just thrown on ROH or thrown on Elevation.
And to be fair, we don't know how AEW would handle it because they've never done it before.
Right.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
like that's not really necessarily fair to say. But my biggest critique and like this is, I'll tell you, like with everything that's ever happened. I mean, you talk about Brawl Out, like I'm trying to think what else. Having a bloated roster, like. Think of all the critiques that AEW have. Oh, they don't tell stories, which I don't buy into that theory really. But all they do is just have matches. Okay, Tony's a money mark, all that stuff, right? All the critiques.
That's true.
This right here though is like could be the biggest critique for me, and this could put a dent into AEW. Like. You're playing with fire at this point, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Like I said, the circumstances in which they're doing it is what's gonna like really is the bad part of it is, I don't like this person, so
it's ridiculous.
I need my own show so I can, be the main star of my own show and not deal with those guys. That's a dumb reason to do a brand split. I mean, WWE had to do it because there was no competition back in the day. Like they already bought WCW. They engulfed literally that whole roster. They needed to, spread everyone out and, everyone get their own storylines and all this stuff. They had the big gold belt. They had the WWE Championship. What do we do with these? They had the 2 sets of, so they needed to do that. Like that was like the game plan. Let's do a brand split.
Yeah, and there was no other wrestling companies really,
Yeah, so they had to like kind of compete with it themselves.
Make it interesting,
Now it's like it's with AEW, it's like they don't need to do it, but now they have. It's kind of like they have to, because if they want to please everybody, I mean they don't have to, but I mean it seems like to please everybody that's involved. Like Jericho, Punk, and the Elite.
I don't think this is necessarily a Jericho thing. I don't think Jericho cares necessarily.
Well, he's supposedly gonna be on the show with Punk.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So like, I don't think he's a part of the. But you have your Ty Mellows, who they're posting about gaslighting and all this shit. Brandon Cutler needs to fuck the fuck off. Okay, like. Like I'm just gonna
put that on a fucking t-shirt, Chad. Brandon Cutler needs to fuck the fuck off.
You know what? And I mean, I don't come across as like the most dickiest person ever, but I do have moments where I could be a complete like sarcastic, like a-hole and stuff like that. And I mean, for one of the things that with CM Punk and the brawl and stuff, he just calls him fucking like. Granted, he could have picked a different time to do it, but he was speaking his truth at that point. And people got mad that he hurt people's feelings. I mean, some people don't like to hear the truth, and some people just can't take shit. They take shit to heart. They're too sensitive, and that's pretty much what happened. I mean, obviously it blew up because of the the Colt Cabana stuff, but after the Colt Cabana, after he mentioned that, and then he started going at the executives and all this stuff, like what did he call them? I forget.
Empty-headed fucks.
Yeah, empty-headed fucks. Like people,
I called Adam Page empty-headed.
Granted, he could have used a different set of words, but a lot of people don't like to be criticized, especially out in the open.
Guess
that's
what?
All he did.
Grow the fuck up.
And that's
that's the fucking world, pal.
I've worked with people like CM Punk like that are just like they don't know how to use the right words to talk to you. Like in a professional manner, but they're
his name is Johnson.
No, but like in my professional career, like in my years of working and stuff like that, you run into CM Punk type dudes all the time. Like there are guys out there that are gonna express and voice their opinions, and they're gonna make people mad. I mean, it's not the first time, and it's not the last time that's gonna happen. I mean, you just don't. I mean, CM Punk's a little bit more. I think too, but people just hate him. Because he thinks he's above everybody and stuff like that. So it makes his own persona makes it even worse on him. But I think what he said wasn't like a bad thing. I mean, it helped them adjust and change.
He's speaking his truth, and just was wrong time, wrong thing. But let's kind of take it back. Like, okay, comparing this AEW draft to the WWE draft, or if I don't know if they're going to do a draft, but brand split, whatever. I mean, I'm gonna say like. If I could have one, I'd rather WWE do the brand split.
Oh yeah,
because absolutely. I mean, if that's the reasons they're doing it. If that's the reason AEW is doing it, then clearly that's the wrong reasons. And not to mention they have a lot more practice with it, right? So, and it's WWE. Like WWE going to do WWE things. Like that's And then let's say that another big criticism, right, that AEW always gets, which I don't also buy in to, is they're WWE light. Well, guess what? This is just going to perpetuate that even more so. So there's like so many, like I could think like about 20 different reasons why this is just a horrible idea.
It is. I mean, like you said, just speaking from experience of what we witnessed with like WWE and stuff like that and how it can go, it's not the best choice to split the roster in half. I mean, we're complaining about it now, and they're pretty much how many years into it when they do the brand split the first time? Like it was like mid 2000s.
Yeah,
it has to be over 15 years.
I mean, it was fun, and especially with that original draft, that was fun.
Yeah, and it still sucks. I mean, the brand split, like it's not sucks, but it's still like we're still complaining about like the SmackDown roster and the Raw roster and them doing drafts and stuff like that. So, I mean, if anything, AEW should look at that and go, maybe we shouldn't do this at all. Maybe we should just stick to one show, stick with the Rampage show on Friday. Maybe just give CM Punk the Rampage show on Friday. Like maybe just make that happen. Do that.
His voice is still used in the Rampage intro. I don't know if
Yeah.
anyone ever caught that.
Dude, Tony Khan's not letting go of fucking CM Punk, dude. I'm telling you.
Just think of how just annoying would it be to just see the first pick for Dynamite is the Elite, and the first pick for Rampage is CM Punk.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I look, like that's gonna be so stupid. Like, and they're gonna try to paint like, oh, we were just trying to, split the rosters, but whenever you get down to the brass tacks and you got,
we know what it is.
Yeah, we're not dumb.
People
like
know.
no one's that oblivious. Thomas Scott says at least the world champ is on TV in AEW. Roman is going to be MIA. MIA.
Now,
All I want to do is take your money.
That's a great reference too, since it's 420 blazing, yo. No, but as far as that goes, I mean, it's okay to miss your world champ every once in a while.
I like it.
Yeah,
I mean,
fine.
MJF does it. He doesn't wrestle every week. He just shows up.
Also, we're going to
to
get to those 1,000 days.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, the same thing. I mean, not you want to keep your champion. You want it to be like an event when you see the champion show up. I mean, we grew up watching wrestling where you seen fucking Stone Cold every week and the belt flopping, flip flopping every single week and stuff like that. They don't do that anymore. Now they're treating the champion as like a actual champion, like back when Hogan was a champ. Yeah, you didn't see him on Superstars. You didn't see him on you only seen him at the Saturday Night Main Event or a pay-per-view. That was it. You might have seen him drop a promo, and that was pretty much it. You didn't see him every single week on Saturday morning when we were watching it. So you want to keep the mystique with your champion. Like, you don't want to dilute it, especially now.
And it's not like MJF is wrestling every week.
That's what exactly. Like, he's just showing up and talking. Roman does the same thing. He shows up, says a couple of words, and then fucking disappears. I mean, they're both, doing the same thing. I mean,
MJF comes out. Yeah.
Oh,
sorry. MJF just comes out and says "pores" and then leaves.
But anyways, I think that's enough of outside the ropes. Let's wipe our feet and get ready for a collar and elbow.
Collar and elbow.
we might have to change that intro video because there's a Booker T is taking over the WWE Treasures show, hosting it.
Oh,
and they show like a clip of he's in that room with like all the memorabilia, and then you see Triple H walking. He's like Booker T, and then Booker T's like Triple H, and they just walk up and fucking lock up with it. So we might have to change it. We have to change them walking up as opposed to that they like that they love each other after. But yeah, it's pretty funny. He's like Booker T. He's like Triple H, dog. You get a guy like Triple H.
Does Triple H drop any bad references?
No, he didn't say anything about
like he did back in 2003.
Booker T, you gotta why don't you do a little dance for me? And then...
Oh my
god.
Moving on. All right, let's talk about let's get some Backlash news going, because of course we are on the road to WrestleMania Backlash, and we have some matches confirmed.
No, it's just called Backlash now. It's not.
Oh wait, did they actually?
Yeah, it's just called.
But I'm not good enough to call Backlash.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I thought it was WrestleMania Backlash.
No, it's when you see the logo.
Watch the product, man.
Dude, you don't even want. Dude, he's behind, dude.
I
haven't that shit.
Pulling back the curtain, I haven't watched. I did watch most of Raw. I didn't watch SmackDown. I didn't even watch AEW yesterday. I've been all over the place with work and school and God.
Oh, gee whiz.
Shut the fuck up. Well, now Backlash.
Marco's like, yeah, try to have it working, go to work and then raising 3 kids.
Yeah, I know, right? Jeez. Actually, no, I watched copious amounts of wrestling. It just happens to be Roman Reigns matches. On
thanks
a
to
loop.
your son.
Best of Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I got to try to get him
YouTube.
into somebody else. Jeez.
Can recite that Bloodline entire story, 2-hour
pretty
video
much.
from heart.
He actually wants to move to Pensacola, Florida now because
God.
his Roman Reigns is from
Uh-oh.
Pensacola, Florida.
Oh, that's a horrible idea. A horrible idea.
Like that's how we draw the line, kid. That's how Roman has to take a back seat.
Pensacola, Florida is about 4 hours from me.
Is it really?
Yeah.
From
Jeez.
Pensacola, Florida.
That's about
All
idea.
right.
Well, now it's just Backlash. All right. So Backlash, we have a few matches confirmed for the show. I guess we'll just start it off. Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And going for Backlash. Look,
It's fine.
this match is gonna I know it down deep in my pores. This match is gonna be good. I'm very
Okay.
excited for this.
We go okay.
I thought you were going to say a squash match. I was like,
Oh
boy.
no, I don't think we'll get a squash. I do think that, I mean, we won't do predictions yet, but I think it's gonna be the longest match that Brock has had in a while.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last long match that he's had. Oh, I guess SummerSlam, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, him and Roman. Yeah, the last man standing
Yeah.
match. That was pretty long.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a quick match by any means.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good. It's gonna kind of mirror the Cena and Lesnar match from Extreme Rules, probably, which I don't mind at all. I think that's I just think having Brock versus Cody as a marquee match, it screams like big time match. It was a match that you don't think you need until you actually get the announcement for, and it's like, oh shit, like we're getting this match. My dog agrees in the background too.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's crowd still behind Cody. I mean, they're not booing him yet. Everyone thought
They're not gonna boo him.
he was gonna get booed at some point, but
No, he's not. He's over like Grover.
I know, but you
He
know how
ain't getting
people are.
booed.
He's buried. Oh, he's
No.
buried. He
That-
should have won at Mania. Oh. That's my Twitter voice.
See, all of that. Yeah, that's a good Twitter voice. Does it have a blue check by it?
No, it doesn't. Actually, my the Twitter voice does not have a blue check
Oh,
anymore.
damn.
It's gone.
Stone
Yeah,
Cold thought that the finish of Cody
But
and
yeah,
Roman was good.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
When Stone Cold,
goddamn pal, I thought that match was great.
Stone Cold, Kevin Nash, and Dustin Rhodes came out and said
Oh,
he should have lost.
What a trio that is.
So I mean,
Jesus.
I'm
Hey,
saying-
whoa!
for
Put some
three.
respect behind Dustin Rhodes' name.
No, he did say that. He said he's obviously he wanted his brother to win, but
That's the
I
right
mean
move.
he said he's gonna win, just not now. It's not his time
Yeah.
to do it yet. Stone Cold said the same thing. Then Kevin
right
Nash
move.
did the same thing.
Was
Kevin
Kevin
Nash
leaning against the ropes as he was agreeing with it?
I love Kevin Nash. Dude.
Yeah.
Nah, he was just like,
I
he's
thought
like,
the match was great. I don't know.
he's like, Roman's your money guy.
I think
man."
I think it was fucking great. It's because it was fucking like because he was he's fucking great. And
He
then,
said he was like, no, he basically said Cody's your money. I mean, Roman's your money guy. He has a cool factor, just like he's like Roman's like a mashup of Kevin Nash and fucking Scott Hall, dude. He's literally both
yeah.
those dudes. Like he has like the swagger of Scott Hall. He has like the look of Kevin Nash. Like he's literally both of them together.
Stone Cold was like, I don't know the shit about my watch.
I'm gonna take their word over fucking. Oh, he should have won. Oh,
Yeah,
he's buried now forever. Oh,
let's see.
Solo get in the ring. I said, are we working or shooting here?
Dustin Rhodes, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kevin Nash. I would say that they know what they're talking about.
How many years of combined wrestling knowledge is that? I don't know. And Stone Cold's arguably the biggest superstar WWE ever produced. So
It's about 90 years. So
yeah, I'm gonna go with him instead of oh, he's buried.
Yeah. So he's fine, but
Does he win? Does it matter if he wins or loses? That's the.
I think he wins.
Does it hurt him if he loses though?
no.
No, I don't think it. I mean, I think it just adds.
You
to
got to
the
give him
story.
you got to give him some adversity, man.
Yeah.
You know, he's. I'm
I don't know
right
if he
there.
can go in and just beat Brock Lesnar. Though. That's the thing. I think he has to lose, or lose by disqualification or something. Like, I don't think
You
it's a
could
clean
stretch
win.
the
No,
story
I
out.
think Brock goes in there and just beats the shit out of him. And
Yeah,
then he just
yeah,
TKO.
yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
And then you have another match.
I wouldn't mind it. I would like that.
You have
I
another
think you
match
can
at what?
stretch the story out to
The
Here's what
Saudi
I'll
show,
say.
whatever it is.
if they're gonna do Cody and Roman at SummerSlam, I think Cody wins here. But if they're doing Cody and Roman at Mania, stretch this out. Let Cody just lose. Just go on a
man.
losing
Right.
streak.
Right.
2028, dude. They're saying if Roman goes to 2028, he could just obliterate Bruno Sammartino's record, and I'm all for it. Just
Do it.
have him,
Let's
have
do
him
it.
hold the belt
Well,
to 2028.
Well, hang on now. Hang on now.
You can
I'm all
make another
for it.
world title. That's the point of the brand split. Make a new title
No,
so that
no.
Roman can hold the new.
That's one thing I hate. If
Dude.
they do, leave the titles on Roman. Don't let them
Make it the
No.
Roman title.
2028, dude. May 2028. They said he'll be
I-
the longest reigning champion ever.
Young Anthony, I booked the territory last week. And,
Oh, he did, man. It was actually pretty good. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, boy.
I was on board. Let's
So
let's
just
recap.
to give a little recap, if you got Roman, if you're gonna do Roman and Cody, you do it, at SummerSlam. You're gonna have, like you just said, you're gonna have Brock. He's got to beat Brock, 100%. Okay, but what I said, your Money in the Bank winner. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Logan Paul.
Mm.
You have Logan Paul as your Money in the Bank winner. Does he cash in on Cody? Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't really need to, because you've already set the precedent that the Money in the Bank winner can cash in on a United States champion or Intercontinental champion. So I think, I really kind of think at this point you do have to put, if you're going to do Cody Roman, I think I'm leaning towards the fact that you got to do it on SummerSlam. And here's why. Are you going to really have Cody stretch this out? Which you can stretch it out, but you're going to do this and then Cody wins another Royal Rumble to get to the Mania? Like, I would much rather, Cody beats Roman at SummerSlam and he's just going after contenders. Personally, you know what I would like to see? And you could even do the rematch next year of Cody Roman at Mania 40, where Roman's the challenger, but also you got Gunther in the wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, put Gunther, give him the Royal Rumble victory. That would be fun. I'm trying to think what else I said. I can't remember what else we had talked about. I have to.
You had a really good scenario when I'll have to listen to last week.
Yeah, I have to go back and check it out. But I can't remember right now. But I can't remember what else we
There's
talked
something
about.
with Seth Rollins was involved at some point too, right?
Yeah, I have to go back and remember because I don't remember exactly the context we were talking about it. Maybe jog my memory.
Oh, I know. I mean, we were talking about Logan Paul being the Money in the Bank winner because what he would do with the actual briefcase, bring it on his podcast.
Oh yeah.
Probably change it to make it a big prime color.
Yeah.
Say prime on the briefcase, stuff like
Money
that.
in the Prime.
Yeah, Money in the Prime.
God,
That's what
Prime
it
of
was.
the
Yeah.
Bank.
Oh, Prime of the Bank. Yeah, no. I want him to win now. I want him to win the Money in the Bank.
Look,
Just 'cause of that.
as much as I love LA Knight,
No,
you have to give it to Logan
Yeah.
Paul.
he's not that guy. He's not that guy, pal.
No, he's not. Not yet. No, not
Yeah,
yet.
no. I don't
He's a
know.
good
That's
feud.
the thing. I don't want to get into off topic, but everyone's saying LA Knight has to win Money in the Bank. LA Knight has to win Money in the Bank, and to an extent,
Where
yeah.
did this come from?
All of a sudden, everyone's
not-
been saying he's the front. Well, there is rumors and speculation that he is the front runner to win Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it works, at least in the situation that they're in right now, because obviously you don't do Roman and LA Knight. You could do LA Knight and Cody, but
Yawn.
not really.
No, you need Logan to win it.
It's
He has
got to
to be
be
announced
Logan.
for it. Yeah, he has to win.
There's
He's-
so much you could do with Logan as your.
I think if you really though, if you're gonna put it on Logan, I think you really got to heat him up big time and get him to cash in on Cody at some point.
Because literally, you don't.
That's the ticket right there.
Could
yeah.
you imagine?
I know.
Oh, the
The
heat.
heat. I can feel it already.
Roman loses to Cody
Ooh.
at SummerSlam.
And then
and
fucking Logan Paul comes
immediately
out.
cashes in on Cody
Well,
right after the
I don't
match.
think you could do that. I don't think
Oh
you could
my
do
God.
that because you got to build Logan as a threat. You know.
Not really. You just build him as a piece of shit that just stole Cody's
No,
moment.
imagine this. You got Cody and Roman at Mania 40. Roman's the challenger. Cody's the champion. And he does it. He slays Roman, right? 2 times in a row. He's got him. That's the trilogy. Dunzo. You know, we got adrenaline in our soul. We're pumped up. And then the Maverick music hits at Mania 40. And he's like, me and you got business. And Logan Paul wins at Mania 40.
You want me to book the territory?
That's heat, brother.
Oh,
That
boy.
is heat. Let me book the territory for you, okay? Look, here's what you do. All right. You do Cody and Roman at SummerSlam and still build up that narrative. Finish the story. And Cody beats Roman, clean. Give him a clean win here. He finishes the story. And then that music hits. And Logan comes out, cashes in. The story is not finished.
Nice. I think it's
Fast
good.
forward a little bit. Seth Rollins takes the title off of Logan Paul because it continues.
Like
their
at the
story.
Rumble.
There's still, unfinished business with them. And then at WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 40.
I'll be down for it.
Let's fucking go.
I'll be down for it.
And I don't know what Logan does.
I
after that.
I think
Logan will do something.
I think Cody, if they do Cody and Roman though, Cody's got to wear the Lex Luger USA trunks.
Oh my God.
Just like at SummerSlam 1993.
Just grow a mullet.
Yes.
Mod mullet.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And we need the Cody Express all summer too.
No, like
Logan Paul
Express.
could wear Bret Hart gear just to steal the moment from him.
No, he'd wear Yokozuna gear.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh man.
That'd be great.
All right. Well, that's Cody and Brock. We also had the 6-man tag confirmed for
Yeah.
On.
for Backlash. Sammy KO
I hate
and the
this.
Usos versus Sammy KO and Riddle versus the Bloodline.
I hate this.
All right. I guess we can get into this. So tomorrow, KO and Sami Zayn defending their tag titles against the Usos. The next premium live event has been renamed from King of the Ring to Night of Champions.
Yep.
Mhm.
KO and Sami, well, at least Sami Zayn, well, both of them don't go to the Saudi Arabia shows.
Oh yeah.
This is
Damn.
Night of Champions. It's a night where all the championships get defended. Are the Usos winning back these
shit.
tag titles?
Didn't even think of that. It's a possibility.
Probably. Yeah, that's stupid.
How dumb is that?
That's
Like,
Yeah.
unless they have a story for this, like, what are you doing?
I don't like this Riddle pairing. I really don't.
No, me
I mean,
neither.
It's stupid. Like, who cares?
I'm so over Riddle.
I'm done with him. Get him the fuck out of the Fed.
Matt Riddle could fuck the fuck off.
Riddle can fuck the fuck off out of the Fed.
Him and Brandon Cutler.
Oh my God.
No, I think a lot of factors go into me, like, not really enjoying Riddle. Right? I think it's the Raw after Mania that just put such a sour taste in my mouth. The fact that the show was so bad, and the one surprise that we have is this guy coming out on his scooter,
And he
now
switched
all of
from
a sudden
he
he's
switched from
fighting the
box.
Bloodline.
He switched from boxer briefs to undies too. That really
Yeah, I
is
know.
weird.
And then he's trying to cut the serious promo on Raw. Dude, I'm all on board with fighting the Bloodline because you guys inspired me as I was sitting on my couch. Bro,
Sitting in rehab,
Right.
getting an STD.
Texting crazy things to this girl. No, that I think I'm annoyed with him because of the he comes back and they immediately attach him to somebody. Like he's not doing anything on his own.
Who cares? And who
Keep
cares?
him by himself. Like he should be establishing something. Like put him in a program of like Theory or something. Like have him go after.
It's time to shake things up around here.
Do something like that. Like have him just go. Have a feud with somebody. Have him feud with Bobby Lashley. I don't fucking know something other than stay away from the blood.
Who cares? Like
if that's the case, just keep him with Solo. Have him have a program with Solo separately.
I'd be okay with that. I'd be
They don't
okay
have to
with
include the Usos and
That would be
Sami.
great, actually.
KO.
I would love that. Riddle and because
That's what it's about.
And
That's
it gives
their story.
Solo something to do besides just being attached to the Usos all the time.
Exactly, and you now you kind of like you're spreading the bloodline out now with the alliance with Judgment Day, which we'll probably get into that because I have some theories on that one where that's kind of going
on the Judgment Day.
Did you see the opening where they're standing across from each other?
Oh, I did. Yeah. What's your theory?
I'm was talking. I mean, there was quite the smirk and a handshake between Damian Priest and Paul Heyman. So I don't know. I'm thinking Damian Priest might become a Paul Heyman guy at some point.
That would be the worst move.
I think it's happening. I think it's you could say that, but I can see it happening.
That would be the worst move
for everybody involved.
I can see Paul Heyman kind of attaching himself to different like we kind of mentioned last week or the week before, where was Paul Heyman kind of like a hire? I mean, was Brock Lesnar like a hire from Paul Heyman to keep Cody Rhodes out of the bloodline business? And he's doing the same thing with Judgment Day. He's hiring the Judgment Day to take care of some problems and vice. So I don't know. It just seems very odd that they're kind of pairing these two groups together. He maybe kind of giving you a preview.
I don't know if I would say he's going to be the next Paul Heyman guy. Damian Priest.
I mean, it seems like what they're doing is they're establishing Priest as the leader of Judgment Day by doing that. He didn't shake Finn Balor's hand, obviously because it's that history with Bloodline and Finn Balor and stuff, but. That's something to note. That's something to take into consideration that he only shook Damian Priest and he's only answering to Damian Priest, not to any one of the other Judgment Day members. So I don't know. Just keep an eye on that. That's all I'm saying.
I won't.
Fine.
Let's talk about a little bit of Monday Night Raw. Right? Trish Stratus explaining her actions. I think this was probably the most interesting part of Raw this week.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot.
I did like the Cody and Brock segment. I thought that was nice choreography.
Freaking Brock, man.
the Brocker taker.
Yeah, the duster. Dude, that dude's
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
He's a fashion icon, dude. He's trying to take Seth Rollins' role as the
fashion.
What is he wearing?
He should be with the maximum male models.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he should be. Broke Lesnar.
Broke Lesnar. Broke Lesnar.
The Beast.
So, Trish Stratus explaining her actions. She gets her old entrance back with the spotlight.
Good promo.
Yeah, great promo.
Great promo.
Great promo.
I didn't hear a word she said.
Promo.
I didn't hear a word she said.
Well, I heard what she said with that.
I heard what she said.
Canadian accent.
J-Bone's being naughty. He's being a naughty boy.
She was in a house in a moose.
Yeah.
I'm not a nostalgia act. I'm not your childhood fantasy,
No, she didn't sound like that. Come on.
It was Oh my god!
was-
I'm like
yeah.
sitting there like Jesus. It's such a thick accent.
With your stupid accent.
I'm not your childhood fantasy, eh? Oh my god! Do you think we're getting Trish and Becky at Backlash, or are they going to stretch this out to
No.
SummerSlam?
They need to
think it'll be-
stretch it out.
Yeah, SummerSlam. Becky's apparently injured.
No.
Minor injury. So
Well, Backlash is happening May
6th.
they said it's a couple weeks. Not even.
I could see them doing this at Backlash just because of the whole thing that they want to make, Puerto Rico like a destination spot for
I think
wrestling or whatever it was.
Gold jacket, green jacket, who gives a shit?
I
we
could
might
see
get-
them wanting to make that a marquee match for this show. I mean, what could you really do with Trish until
Trish and Lita?
SummerSlam? I mean, you could.
you have Trish face Lita, and then Becky returns in the match.
Why
or
do
something
we have
like
to
that.
have? Why do we have to have this storyline being told with Trish? Like, I get it. Like, she's a star or whatever, but it kind of pisses me off when you got a lot of women sitting on the bench, and you need to book them. Like, I guess this is kind of like, I don't know.
Like who would you like who would you put in that position though? Like
I don't
Dana
know.
Brooke,
No, God, no.
Nikki,
Good Lord,
Nikki
no.
Cross,
Good Lord, no. But I mean, just
fucking Piper Niven.
I don't know. It's just I hate this. I don't know.
No, I agree. Like you can't run fucking Bailey and Becky again. Like you can't. It's kind of like what is it? Rinse, wash, and repeat type of deal. Like with all the ladies, it's like
Yeah, well, because you're not building anybody. You're just doing the whole, like you just said, you're just recycling things in and out.
I just don't get it. Like, what's the point of all of this? Like, I think this just goes to show you how thin of not just a roster for the women, like, in WWE. Obviously, they have a lot of women that they can pick from. It's just they don't build them up. But, like, you just look at the legends that they, bring in for these stories. It's really, like, slim pickings. Like, you're at the point where you have to turn Trish heel because you have nothing. If you really want to bring in like a legend, which there are so many other people. It's like Trish, Lita, and Beth. You can't bring back the Bellas anymore, or whatever they're called, the Garcia twins.
Garcia twins.
Yeah, excuse me. Like, why couldn't you do this story with like Michelle McCool? You know what I mean? Like, just someone else. The fact that we're doing like Trish, it's like it makes no sense. She's been a legend and a beloved babyface for how long now? And all of a sudden she's gonna be a heel.
I mean, she was a
had
heel
to pipe
before.
in booze for her because no one was gonna boo
Yeah.
Trish Stratus.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of pipe in booze there.
Yeah.
It was yikes. I don't know. And really, honestly, the pipe in booze were so loud because people just didn't care. They're like, okay, like yeah. Like,
Yeah, they opened the door for piped in booze.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, at least we don't have to
yay.
mask the cheers.
Yeah,
I don't
Trish
know.
is here. Cool. Like, I don't know. It just this speaks to a bigger problem that I've been talking about for months now, where with the bloodline, where they've put all their eggs in this bloodline basket and just forget about everything else. The tag division, the women's division, the mid card, like it's just like, yeah, we'll I mean, WrestleMania was WrestleMania because, you had Logan Paul come in, you had John Cena come in, you had, which those weren't obviously some of the better matches. Edge, you had the Edge, bring Edge in, you have to supplement a lot of people in, and then they go away, and you're just like bloodline, Cody. Like you got to be able to build the other divisions up.
No, you make absolutely. And you're able to showcase so many people. I know everyone complains, or especially the people booking the show. Oh, 3 hours is so long to book. And I always think about the Triple H Stone Cold interview. If I was running Raw, the first thing I would do is make the show back to 2 hours because that third hour is just so hard to book. If I'm booking one, I could book Monday Night Raw as 3 hours so well. You know how I would do it? Utilize all of the talent that you have on the show. You're like wasting time. Look, I love the long matches. I think when, they started implementing those into Raw, like it definitely made things feel a lot different. And we were even talking about like, longer matches, a lot of more focus on the in-ring. But then it's like, at what cost that you're doing all these long matches? And yes, you're getting some people over, but you could be spending so much more of that time with, putting Candice LeRae in a match or putting Mia Yim in a match. Just something like quick, just to get them in the eyes of people.
They
It's like
did,
they're doing
though.
absolutely nothing. Well, they are, but it's like your C tier storyline that no one cares about. Like, give a reason for a Candice or Mia or Nikki Cross match to happen, not just this one pushed me backstage in a WWE.com exclusive. I'm gonna go beat you up in 2 minutes, and we're never gonna hear about this again. That's it. That is every single Piper Niven, Candice LeRae, Mia Yim, Nikki Cross storyline since the Triple H era began. That's it. It happens on earlier today. We caught up with Candice LeRae, but she got beat up by a dewdrop, and now this match is happening in 3 minutes. Like, is that all?
And that goes back to the give divas a chance or give women a chance movement.
Yeah,
it's just, I don't know.
Like, yes, we're at the point where we're not doing 8-second matches, which is great.
Yeah. We gave them like 105 more seconds.
Best I could do is give you 2 minutes and 52 seconds more. I think that's the most I can do on my show.
We gotta talk about fanatics and Snickers.
I'm telling you.
Sorry, ladies, we're gonna cut your time tonight. Cody's going long on his promo.
I'll keep on saying this. Once Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out, dude, that was like kind of like
it really was.
That a lot of people were like, oh, she's not that important. Apparently, she is. Because it's not looking good with her. It's ever since Sasha and Naomi like walked out. Yeah. It's been like they've been trying to scramble to do something. It's still not happening.
Really was, and I was kind of part of that camp mainly because it's like they have a lot of talent.
No,
they'll be okay. They'll be okay, but they don't, and they still do have a lot of talent. They just don't know how to feature them.
They don't. And you need the Sasha Banks, and you need the Beckys, and you need the Charlottes to showcase those other ladies.
Yeah,
like you don't have that anymore. Like Charlotte's gone again. Becky's obviously injured. And then Bianca's not at that point yet where she can obviously she's a champion, but she's not. I
disagree.
The point where, what?
I think Bianca is your top star.
No, she is, but she's not. I don't think she's in the position where she's able to build.
Build somebody else up.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I can get behind that.
Like where Sasha took Bianca and built her
right.
as a superstar because they main evented.
I think what you have to do is in order to really for her to build some money, you got to turn Bianca heel.
That why isn't Bayley why aren't they using Bayley in this position? Like she definitely could be that person to build like someone else or build like a Dakota, like put them in a feud, like split that whole damage control shit up and use Bayley as like that vet that you need to like build somebody else.
Going in that direction with
it looks like it.
Probably
yeah,
so.
I think so. Yeah, you have the draft coming up. They're gonna split up. They're gonna split them up at some point. I think the profits are gonna get split.
Oh
yeah,
with Triple H going, this is gonna change the game. They're either gonna include NXT people, which is probably gonna happen, but at the same time, you're gonna see some like holy shit, they actually split these people up. Wow, that's crazy. That's what you're gonna see.
I think that's why I'm most excited for this draft in
The
particular.
Usos could get split. We don't even know. And I have a theory that might happen. And
True.
Jay will be main event Jay by himself.
I
think that's a possibility.
That's why I'm excited for this draft and not like previous editions of the draft. It's just because, like, you know, we've been watching Triple H's WWE, as we, you know, keep calling it, from what, July through now. And it's been relatively the same split of a roster.
Yep.
Now he's going to have complete control of who goes where, you know, which teams split up, which new teams create, you know, what happens with the titles. So, like, this is really where we see, like, the final piece as far as Triple H just, you know, really changing the game.
Wow, nice pun.
Nice.
Well, we already said the pun, so I figured I could do it again.
Apparently, announcers are getting split up too, so I'm kind of curious about how that's going to
And
work.
let's talk about that for a second, real quick. Now this is completely off the topic, but why is all the hate for Samantha Irvin? I don't understand it.
She's great.
She's great.
She's the best announcer since.
Oh, not like I mean, like sorry, like commentators, like the commentator announcers and shit. Like,
well, but I know, but it just triggered me a little bit, you know.
Oh yeah, no, I don't get why people are, you know, oh, she's struggling.
She sucked. Like Sid Vicious, and I love me some Sid Vicious, but he's like he said something on Twitter like, oh my God, she's horrible. And she had a good like comeback like. Something like, yeah, well, I thought the same thing in 1996 Survivor Series or something like that.
Oh, it's promo, dude. Oh,
yeah. Well, no, just like because he lost. But yeah, anyways,
I thought you were talking about that shitty promo he cut.
No, yeah,
he like forgot.
It was like a nice little shot, whatever. It wasn't like even referring to any of his botches, but I've seen like a couple other people like, God, she's horrible. Like, dude, she's like legit the best ring announcer. Since for sure Lillian, without a doubt. So
it went Howard, obviously.
Nobody's could touch Howard.
Lillian, and then Samantha.
Well, you got to throw Justin in there. Justin Roberts.
Justin's 4.
Justin,
Justin, he's
championship.
He's the
Gene. I hate when he says John Moxley, dude. I'm probably the only person that hates it.
Justin Roberts is the voice of my generation, but like that's not saying much.
Gene. No, we had the man that nobody can touch, the golden voice.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, so good.
It is now time for the Royal
Dude, when they did the greatest wrestling match ever and they had him call it, that was so fucking sick, dude.
So
that was cool.
Come on.
Did you ever see the story that Luke Gallows said that when he got called to be the imposter Kane, that Howard Finkel called him up?
Yeah. He did. And he thought it was a rib.
Yeah. You will be taking on the big bad monster, Kane.
With AI now, they can just make Howard Finkel be the announcer again.
God.
Dude,
they have so much library of it. Like they could just
the Twitter account with the Gorilla Monsoon podcast.
Dude, it's so good.
It's so good.
Like they can literally dude, it literally sounds like it's literally a podcast with Gorilla Monsoon.
Yeah,
like they have so much audio over the years. So they can just throw it, make it AI, dude.
It's like AI 2-minute clips of this guy that I guess he records his voice, and with the voice modulation, it turns it into Gorilla Monsoon's voice. And he's like doing a podcast, and he'll bring on guests like Bobby Heenan, Jesse Ventura. He brings in like Vince Russo. It's so fucking good.
It actually really is. Like I said, like they could just get rid of. I mean, I don't want them to get rid of her, but I mean, they could just have an AI Fink call like,
jeez,
the American Nightmare.
American Nightmare
coming down the aisle from Marietta, Georgia. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
I'd be sick if they did that.
From Pensacola, Florida.
The following contest is for $1 full.
So sick, dude.
Oh, no,
They might as well. They got
The
freaking.
following contest is for the Universal Championship. Introducing first, Logan Paul.
The Maverick.
I'll also say
his brother, Jake Paul.
Dave Pincer, who also does Impact announcing, he got a little soft spot for him. The Giant.
Yeah, I actually have.
And Gary Michael Capetta too.
Dude, with all the crazy freaking AI stuff they're doing now, they could definitely do that. Freaking Drake is doing songs, and they have an AI Drake now doing songs. So
They have an AI J-Bone that you can relive his past.
dude, AI Rihanna, dude, is singing Maroon 5 songs is freaking ridiculous. And actually,
Is that a thing? I haven't even seen that.
Yeah,
one.
dude, search Rihanna, like AI Rihanna. They have her like singing like different hits. I think she sings the "This Love Has Taken." It sounds. I'm like she can literally do any genre of music with her voice.
Someone
It's
made
crazy.
a Drake and the Weeknd song like from scratch with
Yeah.
AI.
And
It's so good.
It's actually
So
really
fucking
good.
It's kind of scary, but
It
It's
is.
scary, but like stuff
It's
like
AI
that,
Drake,
like
dude.
it's so like interesting, like how that happens. It's like fun, it's
Dude,
cool.
they can do an AI raw down. We won't have to do the show every week. They can just
Yeah, right.
I'm an
throw our
AI right
voices-
now.
They can just throw our voices in some AI program and just produce a raw down episode with our voices that they do.
Yeah,
if they
J-Bone
want
will
to.
still say some dumb shit even. in AI. It's just he won't have to be the one thinking it. Someone can think it for him.
Oh, that's
think,
funny.
I think we got that's about it, huh?
Well, we forgot the biggest story of them all.
No, no.
Ted DiBiase Jr.
Oh,
getting
God.
charged with theft of millions from the Mississippi Welfare Program.
Yeah. Well,
Uncle Irwin's
Gone.
coming after him.
I come from money. I come from cash.
Uncle Irwin R.
I love that
Coming
people are
after-
getting him confused with the actual $1 Million Man. You know?
Yeah, that was
Oh
funny.
yeah.
Like what? Ted DiBiase? It's like,
Like-
no, dude. Even Virgil posted something.
Of course, Virgil. Of course.
Yeah, he posted something. I think he thought it was Ted DiBiase as well. It's Ted DiBiase Jr. People. It's a junior at the end.
Did Virgil buy some pants yet that don't have a crotch in a hole in the
Oh
crotch?
my god, dude! Remember that video? That cameo video, the famous one, dude. Have you seen this, Anthony? The Virgil cameo
Oh,
video,
man.
like when he very first did a cameo, and he's just sitting on his bed, just like doing his cameo, whatever. But if you look down at the his basketball shorts he's wearing,
Oh, that's what it was.
there's some extra. There's a special guest.
Oh my
in
god.
the video.
See his jelly beans.
Wrap
No,
it
not even
up.
that. I think you see like
Wrap it
everything,
up.
like Frank and Beans, dude.
Oh, you see the meat stick too?
Yeah, you see the Beans.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you see what Virgil's packing, dude.
The meat stick and the fuck bunnies.
Yeah, dude. My twig and berries.
Please wrap up this episode.
I love making young Anthony uncomfortable.
The Frank and Beans, dude.
This is young Anthony.
enough to get me to the boiling point. Yeah.
Side note about Macho Man. I was just watching the Dan
man.
Soder impressions.
Oh man,
So
he's
good.
great.
He's so good.
He's the goat.
He does a really good Andre too.
He does.
He does. The Macho Man is a bad magician.
Oh my god.
You've not seen the card.
he also talks about like as a kid, like how he had to grow up real quick because he was like I think it was a single mom, his mom or something like that. But anyway, like he starts smoking early as a kid.
He's like a
It's-
teenager.
Yeah, he's like outside smoking a Marlboro Red, thinking about his fig bed. Like, yeah, I think I need to book Hulk Hogan in this spot right here.
So I'm thinking Tatanka for the IC. So
Oh
good.
man, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he's pretty great.
His Andre is so good.
His Andre.
Oh, I can't even do it.
I can't even do it.
Oh, you guys want a peanut?
Oh, Jack, this the beer.
Oh,
I don't like it.
you guys want a peanut?
Oh my god.
Do we
All
want
right,
to do
let's wrap it up.
do we want to do match of the week or not?
It was Miz and Seth, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah, it was. Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Alrighty. I gotta find the little button.
Hey, yo.
It's time to end the show, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to yet another edition of the RAWDOWN podcast.
The Riz Diz.
The Riz Diz
The Riz Diz.
Marco, what do you have
The
going
Rizzle
on?
Dizzle.
The Rizzle Dizzle Ped Kizzle.
We probably new episode tomorrow. Chick-fil-A. I'll actually be recording not right after this, but we'll be recording tonight. We're doing a mock draft. Not for the WWE, but our own. We've been given an itinerary of a wrestler from each promotion. Who do we pick? A tag team, that type of stuff. So
Ooh, guidelines and rules.
might be
Pick
pretty
who
fun.
you want.
No, that's what I mean. It's not the WWE thing. It's like you pick anyone who's going to be your first draft pick for
Okay,
this
that's
new.
cool.
Yeah, so we're doing
Excited
that.
for
And then amongst other things, that'll be the main part of it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously, Chick-fil-A show, Twitter machine. Follow me there. Chick-fil-A on IG. Chick-fil-A.com for everything else. Facebook group. Definitely come join. We don't have any special wrestling talents that join like the Major Bros, but we have some pretty cool people. We have Phil Dunnett, our friend across the pond, as we like to call it. But yeah,
He's done it all.
Haha.
So,
funny.
Funny.
Avon, what do you have going on?
Oh man! So coming down the aisle pod.com, you can check out everything coming down the aisle related. This past Monday, Miles and I dropped the top 10 Jake the Snake matches. Check that out. And then this week, I have got local professional wrestler. He's been on AEW Dark and a lot of different shows across the country. The Golf Father, Dale Springs. Oh yeah, we talk about how he got the
rings.
Yeah, he talks about how he gets that gimmick. He's a wrestler golfer, and it's great. And we watch one of his matches from WAC, which is in Washington State. And we'll have the video and all that posted. The link of the podcast. The watch along, excuse me. God, my tongue is tied.
God damn, bro.
Oh no, jeez. It's been a long week, but
You're working a shooting, goddamn pal.
I don't know the shit or why my watch right now. Paying those gimmicks that they call bills, anyways, but yeah, so check that out, and then of course we talk about figures and whatever else is going on in the world of professional wrestling.
All right, and you can check out the Titantron everywhere where it can be found. We went on a little bit of a hiatus due to schoolwork and finals and all of that fun stuff, but we'll be coming back soon, so don't you forget us. Don't you forget about me. Don't. And of course, don't forget about the Turnbuckle Tavern, because folks, if you liked what you heard, and I know that you did, make sure that you head on down to the turnbuckletavern.com. Listen to all of our podcasts on Apple and Spotify. Watch all of our videos on YouTube. Join our community. Follow us on social media everywhere where we can be found. That is, of course, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And join our Discord to speak with some like-minded wrestling individuals who love the sport and the art of sports entertainment. And give us your money. ProWrestlingTees.com/tavern. I had to remember if it was a forward or a backslash, but it's a /. Once you type in that link, you'll be able to find Hollywood Tony's shirt, a Boney Shivani's shirt, an MVP Marco shirt. Everyone's got a shirt. And we are getting rid of a few shirts, so make sure that you get them while you can, while supplies last. But I'm sure they'll just be replaced with even better shirts in the future. But get them while you can. And if those don't tickle your fancy, and I don't know why they wouldn't, Teespring, theturnbuckletavern.com. You can get ready for Backlash. Thankfully, we don't have to call it Mr. WrestleMania Backlash, because he's Mr. Backlash, and you can become Mr. Backlash with your own shirt from Teespring. The RAWDOWN logo is used on all of the merch here, stickers and mugs, and you name it, everything is on here. There's a Young Anthony sticker that you can get right here at Teespring. And
make
finally,
sure you can stick that sticker on your toilet near you.
Will you stop? And finally, call the tavern. Let us know what you think of tonight's RAWDOWN and just everything. Let us know what you think of Cody and Brock. Call us at 304-404-2004. That's the number to call to hear your message played on the flagship show. Call the tavern and leave us a voicemail. Goes a long way. 304-404-2004 is the number to call. Once again, that is 304-404-2004. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in to yet another edition of the RAWDOWN. We will see you right here, same time, same place, next week. But until then, as always,
Life sucks, and then you die.